More than 3.6 million refugees have fled Ukraine. The number includes more than 2.1 million refugees who fled here to Poland. And today we got a somber assessment about the number of children in Ukraine who've had to flee their homes. UNICEF announced today that more than half of Ukraine's children, a staggering 4.3 million children, have been displaced 1 month into the war. With that humanitarian crisis worsening by the minute, President Biden today in Brussels announced that the U.S. will accept up to 100,000 refugees from Ukraine with a focus on reuniting displaced Ukrainians with family in the United States. He also announced the U.S. will donate more than $1 billion to help European countries deal with the surge in refugees. Here in Warsaw, Poland, a city that has already accepted about 3 times more refugees than the U.S. is planning to take, the regional government has stepped up to take care of its share of this huge crush of people. This sea of cots at this Warsaw Convention Center may look familiar, like the scenes that follow hurricanes, floods, and fires. But this disaster is entirely man-made, and the people sheltering here may not have the chance to rebuild their homes.
We came here 2 days ago because we need help. We don't know what to do and how to live. Currently, we're planning to find a house in the UK. We don't have anything in the UK, but just people who are willing to help us.
Eve Prokopenko is just 15. She's here with her mother, alongside 6,000 other refugees here on this day. Most don't have a plan. To help, the regional government has turned this massive convention center into a safe haven for up to 20,000 people. Many arrive sick, so there's medical care on site.
Obviously, most of the people coming here are women and children, so we have a gynecologist's office. And for pregnant women, we can do diagnostics, and you can even give birth here, which we've already done a couple of times.
Despite Warsaw being the biggest center that receives refugees from Ukraine, what you won't see anywhere around the city are tents or temporary housing. A number of refugees are going to a stadium where they can spend some time. They're generally then sent to a hostel or some sort of temporary accommodation. But after a few days, they end up in private accommodation hosted by Poles, or they leave for other European cities. Many of those cities can be reached with the help of a temporary bus terminal set up outside the convention hall. About 1,000 people leave each day as thousands more pour in. Some who arrive here, like Eve and her mom, hope to get as far away as possible.
As we heard, even Russia wants to invade Poland. That's horrifying. We're right here. So we see a lot of buses and just people are going in really different countries of Europe. Like England, Italy, everywhere. Anywhere they can get just to escape all this.
That's just one center in one city in Poland, which has shouldered more of the refugee burden than any country so far.